I'm going to show you how to supercharge your workflow using MCP with Docker servers inside of VS Code. First, I'm going to demo how to GitHub Copilot can explain differences between two different commits of one file. And then I'm going to show you how it could also review a file, validate those changes, and even stage and commit those changes. So let's dive right in. First, we're going to start off with two examples, and then I'm going to show you how you can set everything up from the integration, installing Docker Hub Desktop, and the integrations and settings within VS Code. All right, like I said, the first example is going to be pretty straightforward, but this basic example is something that you could build off of. Now, so what we are going to do is just simply get a latest commit and then the previous commit, and we want just a summary of these two commits. Granted, there is a good commit message, so we could kind of get an understanding based on what the commits are, on what changes were made. But in this case, it's going to go a little bit further, and it's going to actually understand what changes were made, and then it's going to report back to us. So let's go ahead and we'll just go ahead and execute that chat now. All right, as you can see, it simply created two to-dos. This could also change as it goes on. But in this case, you have an option to enable auto approve, or you can just click on allow. We're going to go ahead and click on allow and allow that command to run. As you can see, we did get an error because it is saying it is not in the right terminal. Let me go ahead and fix that real quick. All right, now that we are in the right terminal, let's go ahead and fix that back up. All right, so now that we are back on track, I just said, hey, I had fixed it. Can you go ahead and continue as we planned? So it went ahead and it started running commands. Of course, it asked me for that approval. And then as you can see that these are the commands that it had ran and why and what it was doing. I'll fetch the details for the previous commit as well as compare to others. I'll pull the full patch diffs for both commits to describe the exact line changes. And you'll see why exactly that's important, because then when you come down here, because we are chatting with an AI model, we're able to, leverage it to, build a summary for us. And as you can see, so based on those differences, and we asked for a summary, it went ahead and said, hey, for this commit at this time, here was the message. This is the file that was changed. Here's the diff summary. So this is what we kept. This is what we added. It also goes ahead and gives us a quick note. Same thing for this commit, and then the net effect between the two commits. So essentially what changed between the two. And then, it gives us some more options of what we could do after that. As you can see, it says correct the division example to 2 divided by 2 equals 1 instead of the false answer that I had given up here, which is 100. Absolutely insane. But to take it a step further, check out this next example. So it's kind of along the lines of what I just talked about as far as that division being incorrect. So let's go ahead and modify this test.txt file, and we're going to say 100 times 100 equals 5. Obviously, that is incorrect. So now let's go ahead and we'll chat with the model, the MCP, and we're going to go ahead and say, leveraging these Git tools, go ahead and do a number of functions. So what I'm going to say is, please read test.txt and get the latest changes. Once you understand the changes that were made, please validate and fix any problems with the latest change. Once validated/fixed, go ahead and stage and commit with a relevant message. All right, and under a minute, maybe a minute and a half, it went ahead and it read that file, found it validated, and made sure that those equations were correct. So since my last change, it went ahead and it fixed that 2 divided by 2 equals 1, and it also made a change to the 100 times 100. It no longer equals 5 or whatever we had set it to. It went ahead and it made a plan, read current test. It went ahead and read it, validate and identify issues, apply the fixes. Went ahead and read it again. And then I think that was after the changes were made. And then it went ahead and staged and then committed with this message here. As you can see, it staged it here, git add, and then it did a commit with the message fix and correct equations and test.txt. And then the changes that were made were 2 divided by 2 equals 1. And 100 times 100. Absolutely, like I said, it is crazy. Just using these tools, we were able to interact with Git and just using plain language, not even using proper punctuation or anything like that. We were able to get the job done. So now with that being said, now that you understand the powerful and the impact that this does provide, go ahead and show you how you could do it yourself. All right, first things first is you need Docker Desktop. There are other ways you could go ahead and run an MCP server. In this case, we're using Docker for a number of reasons, which is something that we could cover in a different video. But in this case, for this example, if you want to follow exactly what I did, and it is actually quite easy, go ahead. If you're on a Windows machine, go ahead, download that Docker Desktop for Windows. All right, after you set it up, this is going to be blank. But if you go down here on the left side, if you have the latest, you should see this MCP toolkit. Another thing to make sure that it is enabled, it should be enabled by default. But if you go into the settings, go ahead and search MCP, enable Docker MCP toolkit, and you should see that this option is selected. All right, so Also, since we are using VS Code, there are some prerequisites for using Visual Studio Code. And obviously you will need to install the latest version. And then you also have to have access to Copilot. There's a number of ways of going about it. It's actually pretty cheap, and I think it's actually worth the price of, I believe, $10. But that's up to you on how you want to do it. There's also, you can get it for free, or there's even some discounts, I believe. Go ahead and check that out. But that is a prerequisite for using Visual Studio Code. You could also use Claude, and there's a few other ways to go ahead and leverage this. But after you go ahead and you download those things, it's pretty straightforward. In Docker Desktop, by default, you have a catalog of about 211 MCP servers, pretty much integrations in a sense, allowing you to interact with these different applications and programs. In this case, all you really need is going to be the Git with reference in parentheses. This one is archived and is not useful, but this one right here allows you to run several commands locally on your machine. So in this case, these will be the different tools that are available to you. So you got git add for staging, git checkout, git commit, create branch, diff, everything you need to kind of make changes, check the latest changes, check the logs, even reset, get a status, a lot of good stuff here. Everything we just covered in this video is what you can do with these tools. Next, go ahead, once you have, so if you go back into catalog and you go ahead and you find one you like, so in this case it would be Git, you just click on that plus sign, add server. There is going to be a configuration, but you could go ahead and just leave it blank. What you will need to do is go ahead and if you scroll down to the bottom, go ahead and grab this here. Now there is a few ways to go ahead and make these changes within your Visual Studio Code, but once you have Visual Studio Code open and you have Copilot enabled, you could ask Copilot, but I was finding that it was giving me different settings as it has been recently deprecated, and it actually goes into a different section or settings. So if you go down to here on the left side and then click on extensions, you should see that you have MCP servers. These are the ones that are currently installed. But if you can't get to here, if there's nothing here, which I can't remember if there was something empty, you're essentially, you could search it up here at the top, and you're going to be looking for and then as you can see here, we just have two servers. This is one that I just grabbed, mcp_docker, but in terms of the Git, this is going to be what we need here. So go ahead and just paste it in here, and pretty much everything else is left by default. Once that's in here, you go ahead and you click on that little gear icon next to your MCP server after it is in your configuration. And then you could go ahead and click on Start Server. Start Server will spin up. It'll tell you that the connection state, starting, running, and then it has discovered 12 tools. And then you could even ask your chat and say, hey, do you have access to the MCP Git? And it should say, hey, yes, I do have access to those tools. Okay, that's not exactly what I was looking for. It's misunderstanding what I was saying. But if you did start up a new chat and you ask, hey, do you have access to the MCP server? It usually says, yes, I have access to 12 tools or whatever. And you could continue to ask it questions. With that being said, another thing to note is that when I first was running this and playing around with it, the model that I was using did make a big difference. I forget which one it was, but I kept getting errors, or it wasn't as accurate in the commands that it was running. And eventually I just put on GPT-5 and I haven't had a problem since. But there is some things to consider, obviously, depending on what subscription you are and the speed. As you can see, it's counted at 1x rate compared to 0x. So there are different things to consider, but for the most accurate, at least for running Git, I think GPT-5 was very helpful, and I haven't had a problem since. And that's pretty much it. So once you go ahead and you get those configurations inside your mcp.json within your Visual Studio Code, and you start up that server, you should be able to integrate with that tool. Now, one last thing to note is that within your terminal, you have to make sure, as you saw before, that you are in the correct directory for this chat to function. Otherwise, the commands that it runs, because it does use your terminal, it will not have, it will not be in a Git repository or in the correct Git repository or folder, and then you will have some issues. That's going to close out today's video. I find MCP and everything that's going on with AI and all these agents and tools and stuff like that is very important for you to learn. So even if you're not going to use it today, definitely check out this tutorial and give it a shot, so at least you have an understanding of how it works, play around with the different settings and the different tools. Like I said, there's about 211 just within Docker desktop itself, and there's many others out there as well, along with some custom ones. So definitely check it out. We'll continue to dive down in the MCP world as we go on this journey together. But as always, never stop learning.